y'all take your seats. We're going to begin the program in just a few moments. Good evening and welcome, everyone.
What are you singing tonight?
I'm everything.
Oh, you're...
Good evening, everyone. Please take your seats. We're going to begin in just a few moments. Good evening, everyone. Please take your seats. We're going to begin in just a few moments. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Hal Wirtz, welcome. You can take your seat. Welcome. I'm going to call everybody by name who's not sitting, so. Jeff Parrott, welcome. Take your seat. Ray Courts, take your seat, please. Take your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Boy Scouts of America 39th Annual Sussex County Awards Dinner. If we can have your attention for just a few moments, we'll get started with the meal and the rest of the program. Ray Quartz is still standing, if you notice. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Perona Farms. We're here tonight to recognize our distinguished citizens, Rita and Senator Steve Oroho, and the Victor Avendolio Service Award winner, George Morville, Jr. My name is Brian Avendolio. I'm the general manager here at Perona Farms, part of the fifth generation to run the business. And I'm also an Eagle Scout. I've got a long history in scouting, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. It's our pleasure to welcome you here this evening. At this time, I'd like to start off with the opening ceremony featuring scouts from throughout Sussex County. Welcome.
Color guard, halt. Flag bearer, post the colors. Would everyone please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All scouts and scouters, please join me in the scout oath and law. On my honor,
I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
the scout is
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. Color guard, retreat.
Please be seated. Thank you, Scouts. I just want to take a second and bring everyone to why we're here this evening. I think all of us are happy to finally, after a year or so, been kind of cooped up. We're out here to support scouting. I hope everyone understands that it's the young people in the room that we just saw that we're supporting this evening. Sometimes it's hard at these fundraising dinners to understand what we're actually doing. We're going to talk a lot more about that tonight. Bob Brady's going to make it really tangible for you to understand that it's the scouts that we see in the room that we're actually supporting. It's their programs, it's their uniforms, it's the things that they're doing that we're actually supporting through your support tonight. So it's not possible without our major sponsors. We want to recognize them very briefly. Your generosity goes a long way to supporting the scouting in this county. Let's hold our applause till the end so we can quickly read through the names. Our pace setters, Rita and Senator Oroho, George Morville and Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, EconoPac, Cynthia and Peter Kellogg Foundation, our leader sponsor, Eastern Logistics and the Nicholson family, our benefactor sponsor, the Deacon Family Foundation, and our event sponsor this evening, Renetco Supermarkets. We also want to thank everyone who donated for our silent auction this evening and to the wine pull. A quick note on the wine pull. Many of you saw the wine pull out front. You pay $25, you pick a cork, you get a bottle of red or white wine, you get a really expensive bottle or a bottle somewhere in the middle. The next three people who pull corks, Joe Ganella is going to open your wine at your table and pour it for you. So the next three of you go out there. He's got a corkscrew. I gave him one. So please, the next three people, seriously, we appreciate your support out there this evening. Please start with your meal. Our team's got a great meal together this evening. Please enjoy that. And we want to pay tribute while you do that. Please start your meal to our past award honorees of the Distinguished Citizen Award. We're going to ask everyone who's here tonight to please stand and be recognized. Larry Condit, George Morville Jr., Mark Avendolio, Ray Courts, Marianne and Phil Deacon, DJ Romano, Greg Murphy, Jeffrey Quinn, Rob Nicholson, Bob Phoebus, and Paul Weibel. I'd like to call up Vincent Gianchi of Troop 90 in Franklin. Vincent is Rita and Steve's grandson. He's going to tell us a little about his experience in scouting.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Giacchi, and I'm a star rank in Troop 90 in Franklin. When I think about Boy Scouts, my mind goes directly to thoughts of camping and shooting sports. Basically all the fun stuff. But when I think about it more seriously, about what it means to me, Boy Scouts is about leadership and patriotism. An example of leadership is when you get to sign off on other Boy Scouts' achievements. At least in my troop, Scouts have to be a star rank in order to sign off on other Scouts' requirements. When signing off requirements, you need to be able to lead the Scout to the right answer if he or she gets it wrong. One of the qualities of leadership is being trustworthy. The adult Scout leaders need to be able to trust that the Scouts go over the requirement thoroughly with their peers. If the Scout does not answer the requirement correctly, they should not earn it. Boy Scouts is also about showing patriotism. One example of how the Boy Scouts show patriotism is that we walk in the parades. We walk in the 4th of July parade and the Memorial Day parade. That shows patriotism because it honors important events in our country that happened in the past. It also commemorates all the military members that have died in service to our country. Another way that we demonstrate patriotism is by participating in flag ceremonies where we reverently dispose of the American flag. To me, Boy Scout means showing leadership and patriotism. Congratulations, Mum and Papa and Mr. Morville, on your amazing awards. Thank you all for listening, for the opportunity to share my thoughts with you, and for supporting the Boy Scouts of America. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Vincent. Really nice. I'd like to call up next Patriots Path Council Executive Board Member and Eagle Scout Bob Brady, who will share some further remarks about the success of scouting in our council.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you to Perota Farms and the Avendaglio family for the wonderful meal and the support throughout the years. Now, before I get into my prepared remarks, what a great job Vincent did. And, you know, I gotta say, I don't really know Vincent personally, but he's in my daughter's class, and my daughter Brianna's over there, and they talk all the time about whether Troop 1150 or Troop 90 is better, and I hear all about it at home, and it was really great to see you stand up and represent all the kids in Sussex County so well. Great job. You know, Brian, I'm not sure where you ran off to, but your family and the committee went really above and beyond this year to make this year's event a great success. For Rita, Steve, and George, and for the scouting community, thank you so much. It's really an honor for me to be a part of this event that has been celebrated for 39 years here in Sussex County. And on behalf of Patriots Path Council, I sincerely want to congratulate Rita, Steve, and George on these prestigious awards, and thank everyone in this room for your support of the Scouting program. At this point, I'd like to recognize all current and former Scouts with us. If you are now a Scout or ever have been a Scout, stand up. Even if you were a Cub Scout for a week and a half, stand up. Wow. There's a lot of people in this room who put on that tan uniform and went on some campouts and understand the importance of the things that we do here. Now, as Brian said a few minutes ago, I'm an Eagle Scout. I'm really proud of that. It's one of my fondest accomplishments in my life. It's Scouting's highest honor. And I'd like to ask anyone who's earned the rank of Eagle Scout to stand up for a moment for a round of applause. Now, I'd like to point out 3 of my assistant scoutmasters just stood up over at that table. That's pretty cool. Now, on top of being an Eagle Scout myself, I'm the father of an Eagle Scout, and I can tell you from that experience, maybe that was a little harder than earning it myself. So any moms and dads of Eagle Scouts, stand up. You deserve a round of applause. You guys are the real heroes getting these kids across the finish line. Thank you so much for all you've done for all your Scouts, all your kids, and all the Scouts throughout our district. We are really fortunate to have strong Scouting units throughout Sussex County and the Patriots Path Council. Our Scouts for generations have enjoyed learning about the outdoors, safety, citizenship, nature. More recently, we've started teaching STEM, but really everything's about the outdoors, community service, and citizenship. These Scouts that we have the privilege of working with continue to advance in rank and earn hundreds of merit badges each year. These merit badges our Scouts learn teach them real-life skills. I'm a counselor for such things as pioneering and camping, things you think about, but I'm also a counselor for the Law Merit Badge, right? I earned the Law Merit Badge when I was a kid, and that set me on the path to my career as a lawyer today. And so I'm standing here as an attorney because of the things I learned in the Boy Scouts of America, and that's 100% true. Outside of advancement, our Scouts have great opportunities to enjoy the outdoors. Our Scouts have backpacked the mountains of New Mexico at Philmont Scout Ranch. Let me tell you, I was out there this summer, and my friend Mike Hannafin over there got struck by lightning taking our kids on those mountains. And we had a great time despite it. Our kids canoe on the lakes of the Adirondacks. They go down the Delaware River. They go sailing in the Florida Keys. We give these kids the adventure of a lifetime, memories they'll never forget. These Scouts camp every month of the year. Lunatics like me are going camping this weekend with kids, despite the fact it's going to be 20 degrees. And the kids are going to love it. We're going to be at Mount Alamucci Scout Reservation over in Stanhope. We also have Camp Winnebago over in Rockaway, where kids from Patriots Path Council camp every weekend of the year. They're great properties. The kids never forget what they learn there. Scouting really prepares our children for life. Leadership development, team building, project management, and most importantly, independence. It helps them gain confidence and a solid foundation as they move forward in our fast-paced world. Now, something I really don't want to talk about, but I think I have to. In February of 2020, hey guys, please. In February of 2020, the Boy Scouts of America filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and you probably heard about this. And it remains in the news. And I just want to touch on this a little bit, not to be negative, but the purpose of this Chapter 11 was to compensate victims of tragic occurrences from generations ago. But it also was done to make sure the great things the scouting program does can continue for generations to come, so that my grandchildren and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren can enjoy going to Mount Alamucci, that they can backpack at Philmont just like the scouts of it today do. Patriots Path Council, however, has not filed for bankruptcy, okay? We will make a significant cash payment to the National Bankruptcy Resolution, but our council is a separate legal entity, and we're independent from the financial operations of the National Council. This means that any contributions that you have made, will make tonight, and will make into the future aren't going to go to fund some lawyer's bankruptcy billing sheets, but they're going to help our kids in the 5 northwest counties of New Jersey continue to receive the scouting program. Rest assured, your money is going directly to the kids, and it's not going to some bankruptcy lawyers. And I can tell you, unit meetings are continuing. There's a PAC meeting right up the hill at Our Lady of the Lake right now. My troop that I'm the scoutmaster of will be meeting on Sunday night at Sparta United Methodist Church, and troops are meeting throughout the district every night of the week. Scouting is strong. Our scouts are having a great time. Kids like Vincent and Brianna are going camping every weekend and learning those great skills, and that's why we're here today. Nothing is going to change to the local scouting experience in our council. Restricted donations from the past, present, and future are going to be used for their designated purposes only. All charitable contributions that you make to Patriots Path Council, like the proceeds from this event, are treated as restricted assets and will continue to fund those day-to-day expenses. When the pandemic hit, scouting didn't stop. So many of our kids' activities did stop. But we were able to continue scouting. Maybe some of the meetings were over Zoom. Maybe we had some meetings outside, socially distanced while wearing masks. But those kids continued to learn leadership, citizenship, and they built their character, and we need your help to make sure that continues. Scouting is an amazing program, and thank you for supporting us. We support the local community. We have food drives. We support local food banks. Scouting has been a vital partner for communities across the council. We have kids doing Eagle Scout service projects all the time, providing hundreds of hours of community service for organizations that otherwise wouldn't have them. In 2020, I believe there were 380 scouts in Patriots Path Council that earned the rank of Eagle Scout, and 7 of those Eagle Scouts were girls from my troop in Sparta, which I'm super proud of. I'm proud of our Scouts' accomplishments, and I know you are too. Later on, I'll come back up here after you ate, and I'm going to give you a great opportunity to support scouting. I know that's why you came out here. Rita and Steve, Greg, you guys are amazing, but you really came out here to support scouting, and we'll give you that opportunity to help send some kids to camp. buy some uniforms, some Pinewood Derby cars, and make sure some of our less fortunate scouts get to enjoy the program and build those life skills. Thank you very much for helping us. Thank you for all of our scouts over our past 111 years. You've built a great legacy that I'm very happy to be a part of. Thank you, enjoy your meal, and I'll talk to you later on.
Please continue to enjoy your meal. The silent auction is still open. The wine pull is still open. $25 could buy you a very nice bottle of wine to accompany your dinner. Don't forget, Joe will be opening the wine for you. Please step out to the wine pull. Don't forget the silent auction is still open.
They're giving me an opportunity to speak. This is a very rare occasion. They're giving me an opportunity to speak. So, I want to tell you a little bit about last year. Last year, we didn't have this dinner, okay? What we did was, we did something a little bit different, but the Scouts are very dependent, Patriots Path Council is very dependent on the proceeds from this dinner. We raised a lot of money on this dinner, so they said to us last year, can we just go out and ask people to give us money? It's going to be a contribution and no dinner. And I said, yeah, that's kind of a good idea, but I don't know how many people are going to get to do it. And the Romanos stepped forward and said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll contribute $75,000 to the Scouts if only from past honorees you can raise $75,000. So I looked at the list and I said, well, there's 37 past honorees, 11 are deceased, and that brings us down to 26. And 26, we got to raise $75,000, so we're all good for about $3,000 each. And I said, well, I'm going to call some of these guys, like my father and Bill Gray, who are both in their 90s, and I don't know if we're going to get $2,500 from them, but we'll see what we can do. So we got some great contributions. We even got contributions from some people who weren't designated honorees of this event. And through some great donations, the Weibel family and some other people did some great donations as well. And a lot of people donated above that $3,000 level because some people only gave $2,000 or whatever it might have been. But we raised $75,000, but there was one caveat that the Romanos said. They said, we're not going to give you a dime of the $75,000 unless Joe Ganella contributes $500. So I said to Joe, you got to contribute $500 or we're going to lose $75,000. Oh, I don't have to do that. I don't make money like you guys, you know. How am I going to contribute $75,000? I can't contribute. I said, Joe, if you don't contribute $500, you're going to lose 75 G's. What the hell is wrong with you? And he committed and he said, okay, I'll do it. And David Romano said, I want to see the front and the back of the check. So it worked out well. We want to thank the Romano family and everybody else who donated. We made over $170,000 last year from that event. So it was a great event without having any dinners. There was no cost for Perona Farms to have the dinner or anything like that. It was all net. And thanks to Joe, who came up with that extra $500, made all the difference in the world. I just want to let you know that.
We're going to invite Bob Brady back up for a little bit of live auction fun. I do want to remind you the silent auction is still going on out front. There's some great items out there, so if you do have a moment, step out and get in the silent auction, but you don't want to miss what's next.
Hello? All right, so everybody, tonight you have a real opportunity to help support the Scouts and future Scouts of the Patriots Path Council. We're talking about the kids from the underserved communities in the 5 counties that we serve. We're talking Morris, Sussex, Union, Somerset, and Middlesex County. Now, I told you I'm a Scoutmaster here in Sparta, but I'm also the chairman of Sussex District. So I want you to do something for me. When you make a pledge, you can write on the card that you want the money to help underprivileged kids in Sussex County. Let's make these pledges for underprivileged kids in Sussex County, okay? Sorry, Mark. Argero, but we want these for our Sussex County kids, so let's make sure we designate that on our pledge cards tonight. So up here, you all have this little card you have. It says 50, 140. Now, you heard Mark mention a minute ago that they raised $170,000 last year without having a dinner, which was phenomenal. Tonight so far, we've raised $128,000, which is awesome. Now, they told me we want to make another 30 so we can break 150. But don't you think we want to be at like 173 or something like that to break what we did last year? I really think we do, right, Mark? Right, we want to break what we did last year. So let's work to get there. So the 50, the 100, and the 40. 50, that means that we have 50 weeks of camp paid for. 100 Pinewood Derby cars, and 40 uniforms. That gets us to $30,000. And that's a lot of stuff to help our underprivileged scouts. So, some of my young friends here in their wonderful scout uniforms they have some scholarship cards. And this is your opportunity to provide some camperships and these other opportunities for kids at our council. Now remember, Patriots Path is a 501c3, which means your donations tonight are tax deductible. And we're coming up against the end of the year, and that's something we all want, more tax deduction. So the first way I'm asking you all to help us is for a pledge of $5,000, which I know is a lot, but for $5,000, you can give an opportunity to send 10 underprivileged scouts from Sussex County to either Camp Summers or Camp Winnebago next summer. That's an entire week where they get to go spend with their fellow scouts, earn merit badges. Yes, sir.
I'll take a $5,000 scholarship if 200 people in this room will join me.
Thank you. We got one here. We got 2 more scholars, 5,000 scholarships. Come on, guys. This is a great opportunity. We got 10 scouts going to camp right now. Can we make it 30 scouts going to camp? We're at 1. So we have 2 more who can provide that opportunity for scouts to go to summer camp. Now, Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of our movement, once said that a week at summer camp is the equivalent to 6 months of scouting during the regular year, where kids go meet church basements and go on weekend campouts. The skills, the friendships, everything these kids learning that week. Can we send some underprivileged kids to camp? Who has $5,000? Anyone else can join us at the level of $5,000? All right, what if a couple like 6 of our friends at 2,500? All right, so we got 6 friends at 2,500. We got 25 over here? All right, so we got a couple of 2,500, guys. All right, we got 2 2,500s. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. We got another one. We got reps at 3. We're halfway. Remember, with 3 more $2,500 pledges, we get that $5,000 pledge. Can we get that 3 more $2,500 pledges? At $2,500, she sent 5 scouts to summer camp who would otherwise don't get that opportunity. I heard someone say, Bob, oh, we got one right here. All right, we're up to 4. 2 more. Can we get 2 more $2,500 pledges? 2 more $2,500 pledges, get 10 more scouts the opportunity to go swimming, learn pioneering, perhaps a citizenship merit badge or first aid. Life-saving skills and memories that will last a lifetime. Anyone on this side of the room able to join us at 2,500? Come on, guys. Those kids need our help. All right. I'm going to go back to my friend here. We got 4 guys at 2,500, which gives us 10 grand. So we'll have to get $1,000 for 4 more people. We can still use 5 then? All right. So for $1,000, right? For $1,000, you can send summer camp, and we're going to help get that $5,000 pledge in the door. Who's got $1,000 to spend? 2 kids to camp. Thank you. Right here. We got 1. Do we got at least 3 more folks willing to give us $1,000? We got Mr. Hannafin. Look, if Hannafin's doing it, everyone else can do it, right? Thank you. 2 more $1,000 pledges. I know we got it in the room. We're a generous group. We're going to send 4 more kids to camp with that, plus the 10 from the $5,000 pledge. Do I have 2 more $1,000 pledges? Okay, we got 1 right here. Thank you very much. I need 1 more $1,000 pledge. Fully tax deductible and changing lives. 1 more $1,000 pledge. Who's that? I got one back here. All right. Thank you very much. Right back there. Can I press my luck and look for 1 more $1,000 pledge? Now we got our 5,000 right here. Thank you very much. Now, we got another bill right down here. Okay, so we got 2 more $1,000 pledges right here. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So now, let's see, guys. For $500, you can send 1 underprivileged scout to summer camp. You can change a life forever. A week of summer camp makes the kid a real scout. I got a couple over here. Here's 1, thank you very much. Got another one here. Do I have other folks willing to send a scout to summer camp for $500? $500 change a life. Jennifer, can we get someone over in the back of the room? All right, any more summer camp pledges back here? Come on, a week, 6 nights, life-saving merit badge, wilderness survival, wood carving, green knee socks. Who doesn't want to provide kids with a week of green knee socks, right? For $500, you can do that. Speaking, all right, let's move on here. Thank you so much for everyone who's already pledged. And one of the right, Mark back up at Nutley, and he's going to speak about something else, and you'll see me again in a few minutes. We need
Mark, you're in the back over there. Mark, we need you to come on up. We've got something special here that's a little different. Ray, you want to pay attention to this. Don't miss this. Larry, you're going to like this one. All right, this is special. This is a little different.
All right. Hey, Florian.
At 8, you're in the kitchen. No, in the kitchen and the new speakeasy that they haven't seen yet.
They asked me to come up again.
Who? That speaker works?
This one's a
Okay. They asked me to come up again.
We have something special we're going to do tonight. We never did it this dinner before. First time. What we're going to do is we're going to auction off a dinner for 8, cooked by our chef Florian here.
And Ray Court said I should provide the wines, but DJ will help me provide the wines. Over in the speakeasy, over in the new part of the refinery, special dinner where the tile bar is over there that we rebuilt from the 1930s. And it'll be a dinner for 8 people with hand-selected wines from the DJ Romano and Mark Avendolio cellars. Thanks, DJ. I know you don't know anything about it, but we're in. Okay, Florian's going to tell you a little about the dinner.
Well, we're going to create a menu specifically for whoever beats the highest, so there is some bidding. I've done a lot of those back in the city when, before I got the chance to work back up here closer to home. And they are a lot of fun. They are really specific to what you like. We create a lot of things with local ingredients, food from the area. So bid and bid high. And bid often. And I hope you understood me because I definitely have no accent, right?
All right, we're going to start the bidding at $50,000. Anybody? We'll start the bidding at, let's say, $5,000. Dinner for 8, that's $400 a person. Ed Walker will tell you that's cheaper than Blue Hill. Cheaper than Blue Hill. Okay, 5,000, looking for 5,000. First one to raise for 5,000. We got one over here, PJ Weibel. Thank you, PJ. And PJ's been to Blue Hill. We're looking for 5,500. 5,500 for that dinner over in the fancy area over there, the new area over at Corona Farms and the refinery. With the tile bar. Looking for 5,500. 5,500. Come on, somebody's got to go. Here we go, 5,500. George, thank you. Marge, thank you. 5,500. PJ, 6,000. Come on, PJ. You got your father right there. He's looking. He wants to go to that dinner. Come on. We're looking for 6,000 for the dinner. 6,000 for the scouts. Can we get 6,000? Come on, somebody's got to raise their hand for 6,000. I'll make bananas Foster in there help you for dessert if you want. Extra thought. Bananas Foster. You're already in. You got a deal. Hold on. Sure. 10. The new deal is 10,000 for 16 people. You might not fit in there. All right. Anybody else? Rob Nicholson's clapping his hands back there.
Say. That's from me. You do 10,000 for 16 people, and we do still 5,000 for 8. That's my idea.
Why do you know how to do math? Come on!
16. We'll still do the other dinner. If they choose to do the other dinner, we'll do it. Otherwise, we got $10,000. Thank you to the Weibels. Let's have a nice hand of applause. 10,000 for 16.
We should still go up for 5,500 there for the 8 top. Anybody else? 5,500 for the 8 top.
Let's do a photo.
Photo. Stand up with Florian. Get in a photo, Florian. Come on. Ready? PJ, get in here. Michelle, you're in the picture? You're not next to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, what's going on?
That's terrible.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's get to the awards here.
All right, so now I seem a lot more original, don't I? So, a lot of what we've been talking about were ways we can help the Scouts BSA, the Boy Scouts, the older kids. But our younger boys and girls in underprivileged communities need assistance too. So for $250, you can buy 25 Pinewood Derby cars for Cub Scout packs where the kids need help. The Pinewood Derby is Americana. Every kid loves racing Pinewood Derby cars. Who wants to buy 25 Pinewood Derby cars? Do I have a hand back there, or is he just okay? Who wants to buy 25 Pinewood Derby cars for $250? Any takers for Pinewood Derby cars? All right, moving on. Here's my last debate. I'm going to try this. I'm a Scoutmaster. This makes for good. Shut up. All right, let's see if this works.
Well, I got one more ask. For $100, you can provide a scout uniform for a scout in need. Who can buy a scout uniform? $100, a full uniform. Howard's got one in the back. Got another one right here. You get a shirt, pants, neckerchief, belt, the whole 9 yards. We got 2 Scouts uniforms. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Have a pleasant evening. Congratulations again to our honorees, and thank you for indulging me.
All right, guys, we want to move to the venue. The silent auction is about to close. Most of you have been outbid in the last couple minutes. Seriously. So, silent auction's about to close. Please go ahead out there and get involved. We'd like to thank the committee tonight. Their names are in the program, so please thank the committee. A real thank you to the committee who raised all the money tonight. Thank you, everybody. We only have 2 awards tonight, so it's going to go through pretty quickly, guys. In 2019, the Patriots Path Council brought a new award to this event. It was called the Victor Avendolio Service Award. This award honors an individual who serves an exemplary role model for our youth, and they exemplify service and community devotion, the same devotion that my grandfather, Victor Avendolio, has had throughout his life. The award is given every year by the BSA, and our family is happy to give it to someone who really portrays the qualities that Victor, our grandfather, has. Victor was the first recipient in 2019. It's now our pleasure to invite George Morville's daughters, Nikki Brand and Meredith Riley, up to present to our dear friend George Morville.
Hello. All right. Do we have your attention for George? We want to start off by saying thank you to Perona Farms, to the Boy Scouts of America, and congratulations to the amazing Steve and Rita Oraho. I've known Steve and Rita for quite some time. They are a lovely couple. Upstanding, genuine, real, kind-hearted people out there, well-deserved. So it is with immense joy and pride that my sister Meredith and I introduce our father, George William Morville Jr., to receive this prestigious award. Throughout our lives, he has set the bar high with how to live a satisfying and fulfilling life with a focus on family, business, philanthropy, community service, and civic-mindedness. He emphasized to us that contributions in these areas not only help others, but fulfill your soul. Our dad, with an authentic business-minded and relationship approach, has played a pivotal role in expansion of life-saving services at our local hospital, built the foundation of a strong and successful lacrosse program at Kittatinny High School, served as the local insurance expert in most of our county schools, tirelessly fought for much-needed addition of the junior high wing at KRHS as board president, and among chairing many local nonprofits, he also serves his local church. His heart is big, genuine, and full of love. Everyone here can agree how deserving he is of this award that reflects all of our dad's attributes to our county.
While many of you know him for these achievements, we know him as Dad and Pop. So we thought it would be fun to tell you some of the unknown, amazing facts about the George we all know and love.
So George loves Bobby Darin. In fact, he can perform Mac the Knife on a dime and perform it well. Did you know George could sing? He and his brother have a duo act at weddings. I hear he's taking requests. He used to sing to Mara and I on the daily, in particular, Like a Falling Teardrop and Our House.
So our dad has officially been named the Pop Bot by the Grands because he's had so many replacements, metal discs, surgeries throughout his life. And let's talk mental strength for a moment for the man that has 9 lives. Through all of his struggles, his body has seen from massive concussions in lacrosse and falling off Sunrise Mountain and landing on a tree in the early 80s to a quadruple heart bypass surgery on 9/11. This man cannot take pain medication. Let's talk mental strength. He's recently taught me how to mentally go to another space in my mind when I was terrified of getting an MRI. So nothing can break his mental strength.
If you know my dad, you know he loves to fish. Loves to fish all day, every day. Loves to ice fish, beach fish, but especially fish at his beloved Swartzwood Lake. He loves to teach his grands all about fishing. Whether it's a walleye, a bass, a sunny, he's got a story about every single one of them. It's something that fills his heart with joy, and we love how they love fishing with him.
Our Pop, George Morville Sr., taught our dad about the importance of what nature can do for the soul. And he's passed that down to us and now to our 6 children between the two of us. He used to take us on nature walks, and we even had our own bows and arrows back in the day. And nature was always a huge part of our lives growing up, and I'm so grateful. The sounds of silence, or the leaves falling, or watching the perfect 8-pointer from afar while up in the tree stand is where our dad is at utmost peace.
Did you know that at a very young age, my dad got married? And while it unfortunately didn't work out, he was an absolutely fantastic single dad. He learned how to do things himself fast. He researched how to braid our hair so we would look cute for school. He always made sure we had the best clothes, and he sacrificed every fun Friday night out to be with us. As Friday nights were one of his scheduled 3.5 days, our dad fought to make sure he would see us equally as our mom. He was not an every other weekend dad, he was an everyday dad. Our rock, our stability, and a very unstable time for 2 little girls, and we appreciate all those sacrifices, Dad.
Our dad even had a special meal that we ate almost every single day. It was called steak a la daddy. It was deer meat and rice.
That was a single dad meal.
And we absolutely loved it.
Here's a fun fact about our dad. This is kind of funny. It's the only time I ever heard him say the F word as a kid. And it was a very heated game of Monopoly. My dad had lost his money.
So let's talk athletics. Our dad is a die-hard lover of all sports. Play fair, win or lose. It's always about the lesson that the sport has to offer. He taught us always there is no I in team. Our dad was our coach from the earliest of years. Did you know that between my siblings, we cannot recall one game or event or sport that he's ever missed? He taught us how to have fun, how to lose with acceptance, and to win with pride as a team. You may have heard him beaming with pride about a particular SCIL win over Pope John with a shootout that I made in the late 1990s. The story gets better and better every time he tells it, and now it's all about the grandkids. You can always count on Pop to be on the sidelines taking pics and cheering them on.
Big G is most of our friends call him, is an all-American boy. He loves the red, white, and blue, respects our armed forces, and is proud to be an American. He flies his flag high at his home, and can we talk about how handsome he is? I mean, aging like a fine wine, Dad.
So our dad grew up in Newton and then on Fredonia Road in Freedon. These were some of the best years of his life. Pitch and catch with his brother Tommy in the backyard or getting in trouble with Coop. Those were the happiest times. He also cherished his weekend time with his dad, hunting and fishing. Do you know he's still best friends with the gang from high school? It used to be sports, girls hunting and fishing with the gang, and now it's cruising around Sportswood Lake at 5 miles per hour, reminiscing about these good times.
Dad didn't take many vacations as a child other than Seaside Heights and Ortley Beach, but we are so grateful he introduced us recently to the tradition of Seaside Park. While he was a surfer and a true beach lover as a boy, he decided a few years ago to get our families together and enjoy his beach roots. And speaking of the beach, his favorite group of all time is the Beach Boys. He knows every song, every lyric, and again, can sing them all beautifully.
One of Dad's mottos is, "It is what it is." He's truly the most positive human on this earth. I've always loved that through his eyes, everything will always work out and teach you a lesson on the way. Another thing you may or may not know about our dad is he's always believed in random acts of kindness. He loves to help those in need without any intention of recognition. He believes in paying it forward simply because it's the right thing to do.
His mother, Virginia, our Mimi, was his pride and joy. My George, as she called him, could do no wrong.
He was the ultimate mama's boy and always had her as his top priority in life. I can only hope that my 3 boys take care of me like he did with her.
Yeah.
As you can see, our dad is so much more than the accomplishments you may know him for. He's the all-American, nature-loving family man that we all adore with all of our hearts.
Finally, our dad is a proud Boy Scout. He's a loyal and loving friend. The fundamentals he learned there truly carried him his whole life. So now, we would like to present to you the handsome, the loving, the wonderful, our dad, George Morville.
We can get rid of all the stuff that was written down at this point. Every father's dream is to be able to raise children that understand what we've all gone through and that life isn't perfect. And I hear those 2 beautiful girls, their brother who came in from Colorado today, their other brother who's working tonight. And that's what's made my life. I was a scout, and one of the things I regret more than anything else is I ended up as a life scout. And that's not a bad thing. But I didn't get to be an Eagle Scout. And as I've grown up, I've seen the importance, the success, and the drive of those in this room that became Eagle Scouts. And when I look around and I see Michael Hannafin, who was an Eagle Scout himself, and his father was an Eagle Scout, and his 4 children are Eagle Scouts. I say to myself, wow. Mike, stand up just for a second and take that accolades, because guess what? That's what it's all about. It was about 55 years ago that I went for my merit badge in the mile swim. I want everybody in this room to stand up that's ever gone a mile swimming. All at one time. I did it at Swartzwood Lake, is where I live now. And I got halfway across the lake, and I pretty much decided I was not going to be able to make it anymore. And the thing that bothers me the most is I can't remember who is in the rowboat that goes along with you back and forth. And whoever that was, he was a scout, he was trained more than I was, and he just kept saying, you can do anything if you believe in it. And that turned back to my parents. And my mom, who was just the most incredible woman in the world, almost 2 years ago today, passed away. And the last thing Mom told me was, you've done everything you should do. You've raised your children, you've taught them how to be grown-ups, and they're all gonna be okay. And when I look around this room and I see these scouts, and I'm just amazed at what you've done as Eagle Scouts, as people, and where you've ended up. I look at Senator and Rita, congratulations so much. When I heard that first part of your oath, I promised to do my best to do my duty to God and my country. You've represented our district for years and years and years, and what you've done is you've presented God and our country first. And for that, Steve and Rita, we thank you so much. What tonight is really about is every other person in this room. It has nothing to do with me, it has nothing to do with Steve, it has nothing to do with Mark and everything that the Avendolios have done. This award, just to be named in the same breath as Victor Avendolio, means so much to me. Here is a family that should be sainted. Victor, Mark, and then we go through all the brothers, sisters, children. They've taken on the life of Perona Farms and taken it forward, and they've shown the power of family. Scouts is the power of families. I thank the Avendolio family for allowing me to be a part of this family by having this award. And as much as I'm standing up here emotionally broken by my daughters, every one of you in this room is what makes Scouts important. Every one of you that paid $1, $10, $100, or $5,000 is what makes Scouting continue. The fact that everybody came out tonight to benefit the Scouts, and remembering the fact that those Scouts and those kids, boys and girls, will grow up and be taking care of us in about 20 years. And you know something? We're in good hands. Thank you all so much, and God bless you all.
Congratulations, George. Really means a lot. Next, we have our Distinguished Citizen Award. It's presented to those in their daily lives who exemplify the ideals of Scouting as expressed in the Scout Oath and Law, exactly what George just talked about. Rita and Steve Oroho were chosen for their outstanding community service, as evidenced by their interest and leadership they've given to so many organizations. They exemplify the spirit of our county, and there could not be more deserving individuals to be named the Boy Scouts Distinguished Citizens of Sussex County. I'd now like to call up Rita and Steve's daughters, Rita, Mary, and Kathleen, to tell us a little bit more about them.
Okay, all right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Those are some tough acts to follow. My name is Rita Giacchi, and this is my sister Kathleen Linsky. And we're happy to be here tonight with our grandmother, Mary Oroho, and represent our brothers, Steve, Sean, and James, who couldn't be here this evening but send their best to everyone here. We'd like to thank everyone that helped with the planning of this event, as well as the staff who've done a tremendous job. It's been a wonderful evening in support of such an important organization and a tremendous mission. We'd also like to congratulate George and thank him for all his support and dedication to the Boy Scouts, as well as so many worthy causes within our community. I've had the pleasure of working with George over the past few years, and I can tell you that he's a wonderful business partner and a very trusted resource, so congratulations, George. It's our pleasure to introduce our parents, Steve and Rita Oroho, as this year's Distinguished Citizen Award winners. We're very proud of them and all that they do for the community, and we wanted to share a few of the values that they have instilled in us and in our brothers on the home front and serve as the roots of the positive impact that they've had in the community.
So first, be thankful for and humbled by all the blessings you have been given, and remember that your good fortune is accompanied by great responsibility. Do all things in service to and respect for others. Hold the door for the person behind you. Pick up trash when you see it. Smile to all those you see. Do what you can whenever you can to make a positive impact on your community. Be proud of your country, and if there is something that you think needs to change, be a part of that change through action. Take the time to learn from others. Stay committed and faithful to your integrity, to your family, and to God. And last but not least, be a positive role model to those who are younger than you and help the future generations be confident in their convictions and values.
The Boy Scouts of America is a wonderful organization that is shaping the future leaders of our country by encouraging the same values that our parents have worked hard to instill in their own family. Without further ado, and with great pleasure and tremendous pride, we'd like to present the Distinguished Citizens Award to our parents, Steve and Rita Oroho.
Ladies first.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight, and we're very humbled to be up here and to share this award with George. Boy, that was a tough act to follow. But such wonderful words from your daughters, and thank you to our daughters for all the kind words and wonderful things they said. And Vincent, you nailed it, buddy. We had Vincent for the weekend, and we were like, do you know what you're saying this for us? And he was all, I got it under control, Mom. Pop, pop, we're all good. And I wouldn't have a better partner to share any of this with than this guy right here. And we are very proud of the Patriots Path and all the values they represent. We're so happy that our grandson is part of that group, and he has so much fun and learns so much, and they push him to be a responsible young man, and we really value everything they do. And thank you so much for everyone being here and supporting such a great group. I'm going to hand it over to the guys.
You talk about a tough act to follow, but, well, thank you all very much for all this, and it's overwhelming. And Rita Mary, Kathleen, thank you so much for that. My mom right here, my mom, Mary Orho, is right here. Lord, we have a lot of family that's here. My brother John, my sister Colleen, Michelle. We also have Rita's brother Matt here, come all the way up from Salem County. So, and lots of family and friends, and just look at the book. And all the ads, and so thank you all so very much. And to be in the company of those past honorees, when George, and Rita and I said that we were going to receive these awards, I used to read about George Morville all the time, and think that someday maybe I might meet the individual, and it just, what an honor. And then to have Brian Avendolio, who's an Eagle Scout person himself. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he was John Boehner. Everybody remember John Boehner? Oh, yeah. How you get to be the Speaker of the House of Representatives in D.C.? He was his right-hand guy, sitting at the table of all things happening, and we asked him if he would be the MC, and we couldn't be more honored. So, Brian, thank you very much. You did a great job. Thank you, really. And Perona Farms, right? They did such a great job. And if you haven't been to the rest of this place, you got to come back and see the rest. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Jen and Joe, right, from the BSA, they did a terrific job. And I also ask you to take a look. A lot of my friends from the skilled trades are here. And ladies and gentlemen, and parents, you got your children. If you want them to have a real good career and some of this, take a look at the skilled trades. I've been to almost all the training centers, and they do a phenomenal job. They really do. So with that, I'd also like to just quickly talk about, I get my name in the paper because of things that happen in Trenton and stuff. But the most important thing that happens and the reason why we're here, it's because her. I was lucky enough to marry a great lady, right? The food pantry, I'm going to talk about this a little bit because down in Trenton, we talk about a lot of things with the budget, and government can't do everything. There's just no way. So one of the most important roles that we have is to make sure that we can help put people who have resources to those who are in need of help. And there's plenty in need of help. And in 2008, my good friend Jeff Parrott, in the Great Recession, and Jeff is right here, and Senator Hal Worse right here, and their wife Lisa and Debbie, and Rich Voden, who's a freeholder time, and Faith, and Mayor Mike Francis is here, and Jerry Scanlon, the chairman. They all worked, and Jeff came up with the idea, we need to fill up the food pantries. So we came up with an idea that had all the high schools compete against each other. And they did, phenomenally, every year. And then, so Rita and Lisa and Joan Kruger, and there's so many volunteers, all volunteer at the food pantry, all volunteer. And if you calculate the number of meals that they've given, it's in their 13th year. Hundreds of thousands of meals a year. Hundreds of thousands. All volunteer. All volunteer. Now, I get to go every once in a while because I'm like the pinch hitter, because when there's not enough, and Brett from our office was there, Brett's also an Eagle Scout. When there's not enough people, and we work a lot with the Romano family, Reneco, And when there's not enough volunteers and they're great individuals to unload the truck, I get a call saying, hey, can you come help unload the truck? But she really doesn't want me around that often because I talk too much. And I stopped the workflow. And so, but you would be amazed at how these individuals, all volunteers, feeding thousands of families and helping probably about 750 students every weekend who are food challenged. That is why we're here, because of my wife. Thank you.
We'd like to welcome up Scout Executive Mark Andreo for some final remarks. Mark?
Thank you, Brian, and thank you everyone for being here tonight and your interest and your support of Scouting. I think George really said it best when he mentioned about everybody's interest, and no matter what that donation or what that interest is, everybody being here to support Scouting is a big deal. So we want to say thank you for that. Scouting, like many organizations, had a really tough time during the pandemic. We've had over 1,000 new families join this fall, and we're back on track. This year we're going to finish over 10,000 Scouts in Northwest New Jersey, so thank you for supporting that. Congratulations to George and to Steve and Rita. Steve, I love the challenge. Scouting does a Scouting for Food program every year, and that just got me really motivated to make sure that Patriots Path Council is making sure that next year we're also, as things get back to a little bit of normalcy, supporting our Scouting for Food here in the local community. So thanks for your inspiration in that sense. Thanks to our committee. This is a group of incredibly dedicated, generous, creative individuals who make sure that this event happens every year and that we're supporting Scouting. So thank you to them. And I know Steve mentioned it and others did. Joseph and Jen from our staff. First, I'll follow up on what Mark said. I had to hold the pen when Joseph wrote that $500 check last year, but he did, and it made a big difference in making sure we were able to accomplish our goals. But Joseph, Jen, and the volunteers that help them and our staff really make sure this all comes together as well for the Scouts. Thanks to Perona Farms. Tonight, thanks to our committee, thanks to all of you, we set a record. We did $36,000 during the auction. And in total raised $172,000 for Scouting. So that's just really incredible. So before I say goodnight, I have one more thank you, and it's for Mark Avendolio and for Brian Avendolio for their incredible support of Scouting, their support tonight, not only by hosting us, but also for serving as the Master of Ceremonies. Not an easy job, and I think Brian hit a grand slam. And I'd like to invite him and Mark up for a very, very small token of our appreciation. And again, to everybody, happy holidays. Thank you for everything you do for Scouting, and we hope to see you again next year. Thank you.
Don't forget the silent auction is closed. The winners are out there, Jen. Is there more wine to pull if you want a wine on the way out? If you want a wine on the way out, yes? Okay. Guys, thank you. Seriously, and I want to bring it back home and just remember the Scouts. That's why we're here. Everybody talked about it today. We have some amazing honorees and their families, which was awesome to hear about all of them, but it's about the Scouts. And thank you, and we'll see you next time. Have a safe travel home.